Well, hey there, folks. This is Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike. And I do bees. Not too often right now, but I do bees. Welcome back to Southeast Louisiana. So I'm out and about, and it's beautiful. Fall has come to Louisiana. We had a couple mornings that we hit, it's just not quite freezing, just above freezing. And then it's back up now in the 50s in the mornings. And the days only get to 85. Beautiful, beautiful weather. For us, 85 is a breeze. You know, it's sort of like you guys up north when we say we're freezing at 45 and you guys just love it. Where you guys say it's hot at 85, but we love it. So it's a welcome temperature for us. Anyway, so the bees are doing fine. I'm seeing good activity on all the colonies. Seeing smelling the goldenrod still in the air. I'm seeing pollen come in. The bees just look good. They look happy, and they're doing their thing. I'm not messing with them at all. Have not messed with them at all, and haven't even checked that combine that we did together on video. So I do want to do that today. Now, oxalic acid will be later toward December, since I did put Apiguard and HopGuard on the colonies and did get a good mite knockdown according to the samples I saw, below threshold anyway. And so that should carry us through to December, no problem. And then I'll go back through with oxalic acid. I cannot tell a lie when I tell you that I have enjoyed not having to open the hives for a while. You know, full-time job and keeping anywhere from 35 to 45 colonies. We got a little up over 50 while we were still selling nukes, but that's just a lot of work each and every weekend, and it's been nice to have the weekends off. So that's why I have not checked that combine in the 2 weeks I said I would. It's been 3 weeks. I took off last week, kind of a last minute trip, and we took the RV trailer and we booked on up to Arkansas for a little bit, and took a break because well, just needed a break. So took it while we had it. We had a 4-day weekend, so we took it. So I'm gonna go in today and take a look. So let me grab my smoker, get everything lit up and ready to go. And this shouldn't take us long. All we want to see is if they joined properly. And I know on a video where we walked around, we saw the newspaper outside, but I'm seeing less activity on that colony, and that was kind of disturbing. But all we can do is go in and look and see if all we're going to see is if the queen took in the queenless colony. I don't think the one I put on had a queen. They did have some polyp cells. They didn't act totally queenless, but they've been without any brood, any eggs, anything for so long. So let's go take a look and see what they did. Only other thing I've been doing is walking around in afternoons, maybe after work. I walk by and just look at the bees. You know how it is. You just enjoy looking at your bees. And I have been tipping the colonies. But I say that because they are putting on weight. Even though we're still in a drought, we've been probably 6 weeks now without rain, 5 at least. And they're bringing something in. It's yielding something because they're putting on weight. So that's a good thing. But it's almost time to start feeding, and the bees are super busy. And I'll put on some 2-to-1 on my singles and nukes, and I'll shoot a video of that. But that's the plan now. Just tip and feed and check this one. And I think outside of putting feed on, this will probably be the last one that I really go through, I think. I don't know. Who knows? So I've got them open. There's a little cluster right here. Right here. That's all honey. Now this box had a lot of honey. It's been 3 weeks now. I'm gonna pull this frame out since we're closer to cluster. And remember, this thing, it didn't have much sign of anything, and I ended up putting a couple frames in. This is one, and obviously they're going to do nothing with it, even in a flow. Once you get to around September, October, it doesn't matter what you do, they're just not going to draw comb. I think the bees know, based on the solstices and everything, the times of years, the barometric pressures and all that good stuff, they know when it's time to hunker down. They're not going to try and make wax and all that stuff. It's not the time. And there's tons of nectar coming in. Oh, it smells so strong of goldenrod. So, you know what I told you in another video holds true. You get the rain a couple months before the bloom, and it obviously tends to produce nectar. And I've read that, and that's proven to be true, because that's full of nectar. Strong nectar. I'm gonna just turn that frame around, that'll be okay. So I accomplished a couple things when we did the combine. If we got a queen and everything's good, we put nectar or we put honey on top for a single, so I wouldn't have to feed it, and we hopefully fixed the queen problem. And look at that brood. So there you go. That's got to have been just capped. So the queen has come up here and laid, because this had no eggs or anything in this top box when we moved it over. So that's good. We're still going to look in the bottom for eggs. He got brood on both sides. So she took a little bit of space. There was a little bit of space in a frame I gave them. These were the old hop guard frames. You can see the indentation of the strip. And that queen has backfilled with brood. I didn't see her on here. Let's take a look at the next frame over, and then we'll look in the bottom, since it's only one colony we're looking through anyway. But this hive has got weight to it. That's why there's a cluster. They're just over this nectar and this brood, and that's it. Then we run back into capped honey, and they're not that many bees. So that's what they're doing. Yeah, they immediately jumped on that flow and began backfilling. Didn't give her a chance to do much of nothing up here. So let's look in the bottom where the queen was, and we saw her on the lid when we combined and put her back in there. Ooh, that smells good like goldenrod. Now, looking at this colony, when we had it open before, remember this has 9 frames, we had good coverage. We put that second box on, and they've moved up and narrowed in, so they don't look near as big. So I'm gonna get in and out, because it's a lot of open nectar. Nectar, nectar, nectar. Queens have slowed down a lot this time of year, especially when we had that cold snap. That probably put them in a cluster. They don't cluster much down here. There's some brood. Eggs will be the perfect thing to see, but I don't want to use any much smoke on them. They seem to be calm, and I don't want to use a lot because I don't want to run her around. So I didn't see any eggs in that other one. Well, I see baby larvae, so that's good. See if we can put eyes on the queen. Really shouldn't do too much, because a damager, man, we're really doomed. But let's see. That's a lot of pollen they've brought in. Bee bread stacked up in there really well. And this side has got fresh larvae. A lot of fresh open brood. I'm sure there's eggs. I'm not going to look too much. I'm going to go to the next frame, see if we can spot our queen. Yeah, population's not super big on this. There'll be a little bit of brood coming out soon. So yeah, not a big one. This probably should have wintered in a single, but it'll be okay in this double. They'll cluster. And there's stores everywhere, so they can move around. Yeah, plenty of open brood here again. So our combine took. And I didn't look through the top box fully, but it looked like the rest was honey, so I didn't. So she could very well be up there, and I missed her. And remember, my nests are kind of spread to the edges ever since the hop guard. There's more brood there, a lot of wind. And I don't want to start robbing, so I'm going to get her back together. Look on this side. I saw fresh larvae, and it's been 3 weeks since we combined them. So that means she took. And so in this frame, and you probably won't be able to see it, I'll try and shine a light, but do have eggs in like 4 and 5 day old larvae. So our combined took, and they will go through winter. Well, the bees out here in the yard that's in town, they seem to be doing pretty well. Very, very busy. Look like good activity on the landing boards, except for one. One's just a bit shy on numbers, it looks like. And really, that's one of the ones that had the better queens in it over the spring, so I don't know. Just let them grow. They're still brooding up out here in the south. We're out of our cold snap that was in the 30s, and things seem to be doing really well. We came through a cold snap, but we'll have warm temperatures and highs in the 80s, lows in the mid to lower 50s, so plenty of time to continue brooding. They're still brooding, I can tell you that. They always do. They brood on through December a lot of times. December would be the time they'd ever slow down here, but for the most part, we rarely go broodless all the way through unless we just have a long winter. So December, January, once that winter solstice passes, it's on again. They're ready to roll again, and off they go. But yeah, looking good out here. Everybody's heavy. Got one that's kind of just top heavy, nothing in the bottom. You can tell they're all at the top already. That's the third hive over, number 3 there, and they're all up at the top anyway. But that's where all the honey is, and I'm sure that's where all the brood is. That's what it appears to be. The second one is the one I'm a little concerned with. And I say concerned, but I mean, I'm not concerned with them. They're coming and going and bringing in pollen. They were queen right when I checked them. So there's no problem with them, I don't think. I'm just curious why their population doesn't look as busy on the front as the rest of them. There's pollen coming in. Got a lizard looking for a meal there on the front of that one, but yeah, there's pollen coming in, and they're probably fine. I'm sure they're queen right. But that was the one that had such incredible brood. But that queen came from Mississippi, and I'm not sure what variety of bees he's running up there. So it could be that they, you know, when they get past that summer solstice and when they begin to make winter bees, they really don't brood up. They automatically brood down. It could be which I think that's carniolans that do that. Could be that they're carniolans. They look like carniolans when I saw the queen, so very well could be that, and that's why they're brooded down. But they're busy. Everybody's busy. Things look good in town. All the bees at home are looking just fine as far as coming, going, busy, and doing their thing. So, hey, we're getting ready to just cruise right on into the winter. Well, there you are, folks. A successful combine. Happy about that. Didn't see the queen in there. It would have been nice to see a queen before I shut the last box. I don't plan on being in any colonies at this point. That should be the last check we have to do. Everybody was queenless. Everybody's treated. Everybody's heavy. Even the single is heavy. Now the 2 nukes aren't heavy. They're heavier, but they're not heavy. I'll be throwing some sugar syrup to them, 2 to 1 at this point. We still have plenty of days in the 80s. We have at least 2 weeks. That'll be enough to bulk them up. Goldenrod should be wrapping up at this point. You see the nectar in the colonies. The colonies are all heavy. I go out and tip them every so often. In town, all of them look great. Those of the bees really look good out there. The boards were looking good. That colony wasn't looking bad. I mean, I guess it could have stayed in the single, but out of the 2 singles I had, I guess I could have. I didn't want to put it on that really good single where I had grafted my queen and raised a queen in that and built that colony up. I didn't want to do that, but maybe that was the one that should have went on. But you just don't know when you're putting an inferior colony on something. So I put it on one that was a little bit smaller, but they'll be fine. There were plenty of foragers coming back. So there's still a lot of bees out foraging, so that box, it might could have definitely been fine to stay in a single, but I think the population is down a bit just because I didn't see all the foragers, and they'll be fine. They're looking for that wider entrance. They're gonna have enough numbers. I've seen them go into winter smaller than that. They're not gonna make a lot of brood at this point, so we just have to see. We'll watch them. We'll keep an eye on them. They only have to do about 3 months, and then I'll be back in them again. So anyhow, I think that's about it for today, folks. I got some stuff to do. The next few videos coming out pretty soon. I will keep doing videos. Obviously, they won't be as frequent. I decided to put out an old video that I've been wanting to put out about my wax melter. Very pleased with that. Ran all this year's wax through it already. Just have one final run to do of the clean stuff, and then I'm gonna do some burr comb in it. But nonetheless, we'll be doing tasks like replacing boxes, culling combs. I need to fix my handles like this. I'm gonna run a 3/4 inch router across and make grooves. That way my hive lifter will lift everything that I own as far as supers, things like that. Just staying ahead of all the chores. We got Hive Life coming up, of course, and I'll be getting some boxes and frames that'll have to all be assembled when we get back from there. Lots of stuff going on. So, hey, it's gonna be a lot of tedious tasks, as I call them. I even have 2 or 3 videos called tedious tasks. That's what we do in the winter as beekeepers. You guys know that are beekeepers. And again, it'll just be me doing me. And you keep on doing you out there, and I'll keep on doing me, and hopefully we make it on through this winter, and that's the plan. So not much else to say, guys. I really appreciate you joining me on this video. If you like this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up, if you don't mind, of course. And you guys have a great and wonderful fall. I hope your bees are doing well going into winter. I hope your honey harvest was bountiful. It's Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and I do bees. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful fall, and may God bless you. We'll see y'all later.